Welcome back, everyone, to Anonymous Addiction Deprogramming Podcast. I'm Bobby C. I'll be your host. I say that all the time, I know. Let's get right into it. Alcoholics Anonymous and the self-fulfilling prophecy. You know, we hear that a lot in different channels and on different videos on TikTok, Instagram. People talk about self-fulfilling prophecies. I'm going to get into it a little bit. I'm going to give you a definition, give you some examples how we, because I am responsible. Look, I'm powerful. I know today that I am responsible and for my destiny. The self-fulfilling prophecy, I know that I choose because I participate in it. In the brainwashing and indoctrination, if I go into an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. After all, I choose to go into it. Let's get into the definition. It's a phenomena. Let me just describe a phenomena. Go into the Encyclopedia Dictionary, Google it. Phenomena, a fact, occurrence, or situation or circumstance observed or observable that exists or happens or happened. I can observe, if I look back, I can observe the indoctrination, the propaganda, the brainwashing, the groupthink that I participated in. I'm going to get into it a little bit, but I observed it. I observe it in other people. Today, I can see it in other people and in people that are members of Alcoholics Anonymous that haven't deprogrammed it. Look, if you're just going to go to a rehab, you're just being sent to a rehab, you just got out of detox, you're thinking about going into Alcoholics Anonymous, you're already in Alcoholics Anonymous, you're ambivalent, you don't know if you want to stay or leave, check out my channel. Subscribe to Anonymous Addiction Deprogramming Podcast right here. I'm about maybe 15 subscribers away from 1,000 because I like to do some lives so I could have some comments back and forth and talk to the viewers. But please subscribe and like if you like. Self-fulfilling prophecy, where a belief or expectation about a situation causes behavior that makes the belief or expectation come true. This cycle can be positive or negative, and it's influenced by a person. Now let's give an example. A person influenced by a person, sponsor, other people in Alcoholics Anonymous through the repetition, through the group think, or a group, which is Alcoholics Anonymous, through the repetition. So self-fulfilling prophecy. But I have to understand that I am responsible for going into the meetings and allowing myself to be indoctrinated because I hold the key. I have the power. Let's just get into, let's go with in the beginning when I came in. I don't know about you, maybe you can relate to this, but in the beginning when I came into Alcoholics Anonymous, I had cognitive dissonance. I was ambivalent about the program. Cognitive dissonance is the discomfort a person feels when their behavior does not align with their values or beliefs. A psychological phenomena, there's the word phenomena again, that occurs when a person holds two contradictory beliefs at the same time. I didn't buy it all when I came in. I had some critical thinking. But you know what they say in alcohol? Ambivalence. The ambivalence is the same. Ambivalence is the experience of having an attitude towards someone or something that contains positive and negative emotions or feelings and beliefs. I was ambivalent. I had cognitive dissonance. But here's where they get you. Let me give you an example of some of the logo. The sayings that they use. Fake it till you make it. That's what they told me. In other words, they were saying, Bobby, fake your intuitive self, fake of the knowledge and information that you have prior to coming on and joining Alcoholics Anonymous. Fake it till you make it. And what they mean by when they say make it, they mean when you get converted by giving your will and your life over to their care, their principles, and their beliefs of I'm an alcoholic, I'm powerless, I'm diseased, I will surely die or go to jail or end up in an institution. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Am I believing this stuff? You're surely going to relapse if you don't attend meeting. Makers make it. Keep coming back. If you don't, you relapse. You're in denial. And what do you do when you go back out and leave Alcoholics Anonymous? You have this relapse. You come back in, you get a coin and a chip. It's identity theft. They want me to deny my personality. They want to create an identity of an alcoholic addict. Stop using those words, alcoholic addict. Alcoholism. You have this disease of alcoholism, made up disease. Alcoholic just means pertaining to alcohol. Here, let me give you this. Group think. This is what it is. This is what Alcoholics Anonymous and all cults, when I talk about cults, I'm talking about political, religious, the media, Hollywood, the court systems, the government. I'm talking about it all because here on Anonymous Addiction Deprogramming Podcast, I'm deprogramming a lot of different things. I'm going beyond the AA paradigm, the 12-step paradigm. Yes, but I'm going into all the other aspects because if I deny that I'm not being indoctrinated and coercive persuasion with other different avenues of society, groupthink. Mode of thinking in which individual members of small coercive groups tend to accept a viewpoint or conclusion that represents a perceived group censorship, whether or not the group member believes it or not to be valid, correct, or optimal. Groupthink reduces the efficiency of collective problem solving with the group. Brainwashing is also called coercive persuasion, a systematic effort to persuade non-believers to accept certain allegiance, commands, and doctrines. Coercive persuasion. Alcoholics Anonymous is a cult. Just look up the definitions and the 10 characteristics of a cult. I have them here. I've said them many times on my podcast. Here's why we are in control of this self-fulfilling prophecy. Even though we're being bombarded with the brainwashing, the coercive persuasion, osmosis, repetition through osmosis, subliminal messaging. Yeah, that's all going on. But we have free will. They want to take our will and our life and give it over to the care of Alcoholics Anonymous. Self-fulfilling prophecy. External forces like societal expectations, like labels, like stereotypical labels that they use, alcoholic, addict, diseased. Even, look, I push back and I'll push back on even substance use disorder, the DSM-5. They're still saying it's a brain disease. I don't buy substance use disorder. I believe, yes, we have a disorder. We're out of order, And yes, alcohol and other drugs can cause other diseases, but alcohol and drugs are not a disease. We are not diseased. We don't have this disease they call alcoholism. So external forces like societal expectation, labels, stereotypes, and even media, politics, divide and conquer, Hollywood, religions, court, laws, rules, lawyers, whatever. Portrayals can significantly influence self-fulfilling prophecies. These forces shape our perception. They shape our reality. They define us. They hijack our identity. These forces shape our perception of reality of ourselves and others and lead to behaviors that reinforce their belief, their principles, Alcoholics Anonymous or whatever, because like I say, me personally, I believe we have to go beyond the AA paradigm and the AA triangle and not just think that Alcoholics Anonymous is just it's just a small tip of what's going on in the world. If you ever heard of the Hermetic principles, natural law, check it out. Hermetic principles, 7 Hermetic principles. And then I don't call it, Mark Passio has some great videos about natural law and Hermetic principles. I talk a lot about the 8th hidden principle, the lost principle of care. That's what Alcoholics Anonymous is doing. They're hijacking our energy, our attention. Wherever the attention goes, the energy flows. The first Hermetic principle is mentalism. Now listen to this. This ties right along with the self-fulfilling prophecy. When we go into Alcoholics Anonymous, we go into a meeting, we raise our hands. I am an alcoholic. I'm powerless. I'm diseased. We get a sponsor. The sponsor tells us what to think, how to think, what to say, what to read, what not to do, what to do. Sponsors are like priests of the Catholic Church. They're Alcoholics Anonymous priests. Elder statesmen. Yeah, I was in long enough. I was in many years. 30 or over 30 years attending. And I could have stayed in and been, I was considered an elder statesman at times, and I didn't like that. I'd rather been a bleeding deacon, and that's what I was. I liked being a bleeding deacon. Elder statesman. Keep on coming back, collect the chips. You go out, like you come back in, you have a relapse because that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. They're going to tell you you're going to relapse it. Meeting makers make it if you don't continue to come back. Keep on coming back. You're going to relapse. What do? We believe it. We achieve it. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, we will achieve. So mentalism, the first Hermetic principle. Here, listen to this. It is all about the mind. The universe is mental. Thoughts lead to the manifestation. You know, we manifest things. That's how powerful we are. We have the power to manifest things. Yes, we have the power to give our will and our lives over to others and let them manifest stuff for us. Yes, that's what we do in Alcoholics Anonymous. Now listen. The universe is mental. Thoughts lead to the manifestation of things and events. Thoughts create our state of existence and the quality of our experience here on earth. Heaven on earth, heaven and hell on earth. Therefore, be responsible for everything you create by being responsible for everything you think. Here we go. Now listen to this. The mind ultimately directs and manifests all change in our environment, for better or for worse, and everything in between. I mean, it's everything in between. This is not just black and white. This is subtle, osmosis, subliminally. You don't even know these things are happening because of the repetition of the skills of the brainwashing propaganda mechanisms. The mind ultimately directs and manifests all change in our environment for better or for worse. Whoever is directing your mind, whoever is directing your mind is also engineering the change of your world and your reality view. That's heavy stuff. Whoever's directing your mind. And ultimately, we allow it. You know, I think the seventh cause and effect with every causal factor, there's an effect, consequences of the effect. Cause we can change. We can change the cause. Going to Alcoholics Anonymous, we do that. We are responsible for going there. We can change the cause to get a different effect. When we go into Alcoholics Anonymous, we're volunteering, we're allowing them to indoctrinate us. We are doing it. We are the solution. We're the cure. We're the way. Alcoholics Anonymous just takes credit for all this stuff. Listen, here in the big book, you know, I got the, stay tuned for please subscribe, like, stay tuned. I promise I'm going to be doing a whole nother series, deprogramming one step at a time, one mind at a time, one person at a time. I'm going to be deprogramming each step again over, but in a little more, because I've learned a lot more through the years. You know, I've been doing this for years, so I've learned a lot. And my old podcast on deprogramming, all step 1 through 12, I did the deprogramming, the 12 traditions, the 12 steps, the 12 concepts. I'm going to be redoing them, more simplistic. But here, look how it works. We hear it over and over. Every meeting in the world is how it works, reads how it works. And it gets to, at some of these we balked. You know, they're talking about some of the steps. We thought we could find an easier way. Oh, no. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Do you believe that? You can't find another easy way. You believe it? Or are you being told to believe it? We thought we could find an easier, softer way. Oh, no, you can't. No, you can't. But we could not. It says it right here. That's what we're hearing. That's what we're listening to. Well, I only go to one meeting a week. I'm not being brainwashed. I don't even go to step meetings. Are you sitting in there raising your hand saying, I am an alcoholic? Are you listening to the repetitive slogans and ideology over and over again? Yes, you are. That's subtle. That's subliminal. And that's osmosisly, we're getting indoctrinated, whether you like it or not. Yes, it's not black and white, it's gray. And some are totally fanatical, big book thumping, crazy members. Yeah, but be careful. At some of these we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness of command, we beg of you. We beg of you because we don't want to see you die, go to institutions or jail. We beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil. We must let go absolutely. Don't hold on to any ideas, any knowledge, any information that you ever got. Just keep on coming back. Fake it till you make it. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, powerful, and baffling. Without help, it is too much for us. Without help, it is too much for us. Self-care, but it's called self-care, self-love, self-inquiring, shadow work, self-motivation. It's all about the self. It's all about the self. It comes from us. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and the care with complete abandon. And here are the steps we took to achieve that. And I'll get in on my next podcast to talk about the deprogramming every step. I know it sounds like it's boring, but this is a deprogramming podcast. Okay, because first of all, we have to recognize that we are being programmed. That's the first step of becoming not programmed. That's the first step of reprogramming. Okay, is for us to understand that we are being programmed. Alcoholics Anonymous program, any other program. And when I talk about I talk about them all, not just AA. There's so much out there to discover, uncover, and recover. Discover it all. Seek. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and but it's not religious, right? So self-fulfilling prophecy, it's not religious, but that we were alcoholic and could not manage our lives. We can't manage our lives. Self-fulfilling prophecy because we believe it. We choose to believe it. That our lives, never again, that probably no human power. They actually took out that probably and said no human power in this new language big book that I did a podcast with. When I do the steps, I'll get into this in the step book also. But that probably no human power could relieve our alcoholism. It's progressive, remember. It's a progressive disease. Matter of fact, I don't care if you have a day, month, 2 months, a year, 10 years, 20 years. It's progressed in my body. Shit, I was buying at one point. I believed it. Damn, I had all these years. God forbid, if I took a drink, I'm a dead man, because if it's progressed 1,000 times, just imagine what it would feel like. It's so progressive. Self-fulfilling prophecy. That God could and would if he were sought. Another self-fulfilling prophecy. Religion, this is Alcoholics Anonymous is Rockefeller's religion. It's a temperance. It's Rockefeller's temperance movement that he didn't achieve during a prohibition. So he found a chance. He got Bill and Bob as a little puppets. And created this multi-billion-dollar industry. Well, the recovery industry, the addiction recovery industry is a multi-billion-dollar trap, scam, marketing scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme. So I don't know. Let me see. Anything else? I don't think so. I think I covered a bunch of stuff. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Just remember. Look it up. Oh, another couple things. I'll touch base with this. Placebo effect. It's a placebo effect too. Okay. Everybody, the definition of placebo, I could do just a podcast on that. A benefit effect produced by a placebo drug or treatment, which cannot be attributed to the property of the placebo itself and must be therefore be due to the patient's own belief in the treatment. In other words, it's not the drug or the program. It's the person's belief. That's the mentalism. The placebo effect is the same as a self-fulfilling prophecy in a sense that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it'll achieve. Yeah, placebo effect. It's not the program. It's not the drug. It's your belief in the program. Spontaneous remission is an unexpected healing. Well, we could get into that, but check out spontaneous remission. It's an unexpected healing, improvement, or cure. Epigenetics, is the study of how your behavior and environment can cause changes that affect the way your genes work. Change is altered the physical structure of your DNA. Actually, when we're in the programming mode, indoctrination mode, yeah, it's changing our through the behavior and environment of the messaging that we're getting. Cause and effect, the consequences of it. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for checking us out today. Stay tuned for the next podcast, and we will see you on the return. Where do I see this at? Pause, stop, start.